Hello students, we'll continue with our lesson number 11, weather, air and water. Today we are going to read about impurities in water. As we all know that water plays a very important role in our life. Just we use it for drinking, is it so? We use it for many other purpose, not only for drinking. We use it for cooking, we use it for household purpose, for cleaning. Water is obtained from, we get water from rivers, well, and even from our taps. Many of the time water is impure, it is dirty. So what can be done to clean it? So there are different methods to clean water, to remove the impurities from the water. So before starting with that, we need to understand there are two types of impurities in water, that is soluble and insoluble. What are soluble impurities? That get dissolved and that cannot be seen with unaided eyes, whereas insoluble impurities that can be seen with unaided eyes. Okay, we can see it, it is visible. So removing soluble impurities. How can we remove soluble impurities? The best and the simplest way is boiling. Okay, so we can remove soluble impurities from water by boiling. So we can boil the water for 15 to 20 minutes. When the water cools, then we can transfer into a clean and covered container, right? And we can store it for a long period of time. Then comes removing insoluble impurities from water. First one is sedimentation. What is sedimentation, decantation and filtration? These three terms we are going to read here. Sedimentation is a process in which the impurities get settled down. You can see in the first picture, you can see muddy water and the impurities, the mud or the sand gets settled down. And in decantation, we can pour the clean water into another container without disturbing the sediments, without disturbing the impurities, that is decantation. So the water you get here is not clean, but may seem a little muddy or cloudy, as it may still contain very fine suspended impurities. Then comes filtration. You can see filtration here. The process of separating suspended and insoluble impurities from a liquid through a filter is called a filtration. So what do? We use a filter paper in this process, and we keep it into a funnel, and if we pour impure water, all the impurities get stuck in this filter paper. So this is how we can separate, but it's a very slow process. Then comes chlorination. So chlorination is an effective method for making water safe for drinking. So many of the times you must have seen that the tap water, you feel a little smell is coming of some medicine. That's chlorine. And even in the swimming pool we put chlorine, right, to make it safe, right, because there are a lot of germs and bacteria. So chlorine makes the water, removes the impurities, right? So chlorine gas can be passed through water, or chlorine tablets can be put in the water to kill the germs present in water. So this process is called chlorination. As we all know, water is a precious resource. We should not waste water, because only limited water is fit for drinking. We have 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water. But do you really think the entire water is fit for drinking? No, it's saline, it's salty water. Okay, a very less percentage is fit for drinking. We need to save water. So here are some ways to save water. We should not waste water by letting taps drip. Okay, so if you feel any tap is leaking, we need to call the plumber, we need to inform our adults, right? We should avoid draining water unnecessarily by cleaning cars, or we waste it in the kitchen or in the driveway, like you are wasting a lot of water washing your bicycles. So in spite of that, you can use a bucket and a mug. Okay, water used in kitchen for washing fruits and vegetable can be reused for planting, isn't it? In your gardens. Tap should not be left running while brushing or shaving. Everybody knows it, but still many of the time, because of our carelessness, we are wasting a lot of water during brushing. While you're taking a bath, use a bucket and a mug. Okay. Then many of the other ways are here. Boil food in a little water as possible. Then you can see here, use a wash basin or to wash fruits, vegetables, and dishes instead of running water. So you can use a container, a tub in which you can pour all the fruits and the vegetables, and then you can wash it in spite of wasting a lot of water. So that's it for today. And you read the same topic from the book. It's given on page number 121 and 122 and 123. And we are going to discuss it in online class also. Bye.